Tonight we're hearing from one local expert in Southern Illinois who weighs in on that recent announcement. Brianna Harris is live in the studio now with more.
Well, Jeff, I reached out to Dr. Paul Schaller with Schaller Psychology in Carbondale, Illinois, and he told me as a clinical psychologist who works with children and families, he does not believe the research backs up the claim that acetaminophen causes autism. Now, he goes on to say, quote, "We all want to know the cause of autism. Countless efforts have been underway for decades to identify both the cause as well as the best care plan to support autistic individuals. Research has not provided conclusive evidence that acetaminophen causes autism. It's crucial," he goes on to say, "it's crucial for public health messaging to avoid overstating findings of association and equating them with causation. Parents deserve accurate information and not a claim that avoiding certain medicine will eliminate the chance that their child may later be diagnosed with autism," end quote. Now, the makers of Tylenol issued a statement saying taking acetaminophen does not cause autism, and we strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise. Live in the studio, Brianna Harris, Heartland News.